Had a lot of their suitors, didn't you?
Yeah. You know, the whole near-death thing is very, very chic.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at the films that have stunk up the big screen since the beginning of the 2020s.
You guys, this is so freaky. Who are you? What is going on?
I can see the future.
Number 20, Pinocchio.
I see a lost soul, an insect of no fixed address, an aimless vagabond hopping from hearth to hearth, with no direction, no job, no prospects, and no purpose in life.
By the start of the decade, Disney dove all in on live-action remakes of its animated classics. Suffice it to say, the results have been incredibly mixed. With names like Tom Hanks and Robert Zemeckis attached, Pinocchio was pushed as a major prestige event, only to sink on arrival. Slammed by both fans and critics, the remake lacks the heart and soul of the original. The flat, lifeless color grading that's plagued other Disney remakes only makes things worse, as each scene appears just as stiff and artificial as its wooden protagonist. With the misfortune of arriving in the same year as Guillermo del Toro's Oscar-winning epic, the Disney version became a textbook example of how not to make a beloved classic.
What's happening, Jiminy?
Looks like some sort of fairy magic. Kinda on the nose, if you ask me.
Number 19, Snow White.
You were saying?
It's just... Your Majesty, people are struggling, and it may not be much, but when I was young, my parents and I would pick apples. We'd take them and make pies, then go out into the village.
Pies are luxuries. They don't need luxuries.
Amazing Spider-Man director Mark Webb's live-action Snow White staggered into cinemas already bleeding from 1,000 controversies. These include, but definitely aren't limited to, Rachel Zegler's perceived jabs at the 1937 classic, and Israeli star Gal Gadot's participation amid the ongoing war in Gaza.
It's a human.
Well, yes, what did you think I was?
Nothing.
Ghost.
Well, where did you come from? Are you hungry? Can we be friends?
What's your name? Why is everyone being so cordial? The only human things that come into the forest anymore are bandits who claim to fight the king's name.
None of that would have mattered had the film actually worked, but it doesn't. Webb's Snow White suffers from uncanny CGI, flat musical numbers, and a script so sanitized, it strips the fairy tale of every trace of peril or wonder. Saddled with a jaw-dropping near $300 million budget, Snow White clawed back only a little over $200 million worldwide, proving that even Disney magic can curdle when the apple's rotten to the core.
I believe you're looking for me.
As a matter of fact, I believe it is you who's looking for me.
Number 18, Home Sweet Home Alone. Disney missing the mark with legacy franchises is clearly a recurring pattern this decade. Home Sweet Home Alone did little to reverse that reputation, reminding everyone exactly why the franchise should have stayed in the attic.
We are doing this.
We are doing it. We'll be in and out before you know.
Not going well.
Marketed as a successor to the originals, the film strips away most of the chaos, hilarity, and wholesome quality that made the series a holiday staple. Instead, we get a bratty protagonist, burglars who are somehow far more likable, and traps that don't even appear until well past the halfway point. The movie exists purely to cash in on its franchise name, leaving all of its feel-good charm firmly in the 90s.
Ugh, this is garbage. I don't know why they're always trying to remake the classics. Never as good as the originals.
Number 17, Joker Folie Deux.
There is no Joker. It's just me.
Joaquin Phoenix's Oscar-winning original became a runaway hit, grossing over $1 billion at the worldwide box office. So how did the sequel follow up? By turning the Clown Prince of Crime story into a musical, of course. The social commentary about class struggles and equality is replaced by a jukebox soundtrack that drains every ounce of tension from each scene. If you thought that's bad, the film proves it can do much worse, having its titular character renounce everything that makes him who he is. Although intended as a bold subversion of audience expectations, Joker 2's careless disregard for fan investment undoes any illusion of brilliance it shoots for.
All we had was the fantasy, and you gave up.
Number 16, After We Fell.
So what, is that it then?
I mean,
Yeah.
With a collective gross of nearly $170 million at the box office across 5 films, and with further in development, the After series keeps its dedicated fanbase coming back for more. But while we can appreciate its audience's loyalty, each entry has still been ravaged by critics. By After We Fell, the franchise seems to have stopped trying altogether. Rather than focusing on any form of storytelling, the film is happier doubling as a teen erotic drama with the thinnest of plot lines. From its hilariously melodramatic tone to sloppy direction, it's as if the movie can't decide if it wants to be Dawson's Creek, She's All That, or both, and ends up being neither.
Pardon his Christian son.
Number 15, Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate.
What an unpleasant surprise!
For over a decade, fans clamored for a Megamind sequel, but considering the film we got, they might have been better off simply waiting. By director Eric Fogel's own admission, the movie was made on a minuscule budget. Even then, it's hard not to wonder where all the money went. The absence of franchise star Will Ferrell is painfully noticeable, and the new Megamind seems more content trying to imitate Ferrell than acting character. Instead of a proper sequel, it plays out more like an episode from a bargain bin superhero TV series. Incredibly low effort from start to finish, it's no surprise the film conveniently serves as a launching pad for the series. Megamind rules.
Chum, this is beyond embarrassing! Sorry, sir.
Number 14, Dolittle.
We've no choice but to embark on this perilous journey.
For over a decade, Robert Downey Jr. ruled Hollywood thanks to his blockbuster run in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but all that goodwill nearly came undone with the abject failure of Dolittle. Despite a star-studded voice cast, the film devolves into juvenile humor aimed exclusively at the youngest of viewers. Although it tries to dazzle with big-budget visuals, it's hard to look past the over-the-top and frankly gross-out fart jokes posing as comedy. With a disastrous 15% Rotten Tomatoes rating and a reported $100 million loss, its failure even forced Downey to reconsider his career. It would take an Oscar-winning turn for 2023's Oppenheimer for the actor to fully restore his reputation, and for audiences to forgive him for ever attempting a Welsh accent.
Don't embarrass me in front of the crew.
I'm sparing you embarrassment.
Number 13, Bride Hard.
You guys, tonight is gonna be the best bachelorette party ever because it was organized by my oldest friend, Sam!
Come up, I just have to go.
What? Sam?
Okay, boys and girls, operation's happening tonight.
I'm going to get the package.
Hey, remember how great Die Hard was? Or how Bridesmaids nailed cringy, chaotic nuptials? Bride Hard tries to fuse the two, and promptly trips over its train.
Sorry to interrupt the happy occasion, folks. We're here for one reason.
Hey, you are not supposed to be in here.
Did I miss the wedding?
Is this normal for an American wedding?
Despite a stacked cast that includes Rebel Wilson, Honest Camp, and Klumsky, as well as Oscar winner Divine Joy Randolph, this genre mashup is a tonal mess, lurching between slapstick and shootouts with all the grace of a tipsy maid of honor. Critics weren't fooled either. William Bibiani of The Wrap called it a pile of celluloid chopped up randomly and reassembled, and it definitely shows. This one should have been left at the altar.
I know I've let you down as a friend, but I did kill a bunch of dudes for you.
That means a lot to me.
Right, how does this thing work?
What? I thought secret agents knew how to drive everything.
Not female secret agents?
What?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, here we go!
Number 12, Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver.
They should see there's no shame in our being here.
It's not every day a film flops so badly that it cancels out the entire franchise. Conceived as a 6-parter, the Rebel Moon series permanently hit the brakes with its second entry. After the original also sank with critics, The Scargiver was positioned as a change of course meant to steady the ship. Instead, the wildly inconsistent tone turned the space opera into a test of endurance, with audiences waiting across 2 hours for a payoff that never comes. With a blend of violence, provocativeness, and awkward messaging, The Scargiver doesn't exactly know what it's doing. Outside the most die-hard fans of Zack Snyder's directorial style, this is a movie that might be best understood by inhabitants of its own mother world.
Is that right? We'll see when the job is done.
Number 11, Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Despite a sequel hook at the end of the second and third films, the Jeepers Creepers series went for a reboot instead. Although the films were never known for their production values, Reborn takes things to a new low. Appearing less like a studio release and more like a student film project, everything looks laughably low scale. From B-level visuals to painfully bad acting and a ridiculous plot, Reborn feels like a parody of the movies that came before it. Almost completely devoid of any genuine scares, it doesn't even cross into so bad it's good territory. With a 0% Rotten Tomatoes critics rating and a 7% audience score, the bigger question is who enjoyed it at all?
Well, they're not just gonna ignore a 911 call, right?
Oh, my sweet summer child.
Number 10, Artemis Fowl. Another Disney Plus starter project that went nowhere. Artemis Fowl overloaded on proven names without earning audience goodwill in return.
I never badged for this.
That's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Shut up, Folie, or I'll have yours too.
Despite featuring the likes of Judi Dench, Colin Farrell, Josh Gad, and director Kenneth Branagh, the film landed firmly in the forgettable pile of young adult adaptations. More interested in flashy visuals and CGI than an actual story, it leaves fans of the source material lamenting the wasted potential from the award-winning 2001 novel. Similar to several other Disney Plus exclusives, Artemis Fowl isn't so much a filmmaking effort as it is a glossy sales pitch for Disney's then brand new streaming service.
Where are we going?
To finish this.
You think I'm ready?
Oh, I know you're ready.
Number 9, The Electric State.
Took your freaking time, didn't you?
Cool your jets, I was in power save mode.
It might sound harsh, but over 5 years removed from Avengers Endgame, we've come to expect disappointment from Anthony and Joe Russo. Since their Marvel peak, the directing duo have stumbled from one misfire to the next, and unfortunately, The Electric State is no exception.
How'd you two meet?
We actually met in the war.
You're supposed to be killing each other?
We tried. Bots had my whole platoon surrounded, broke my leg in two. 10 men circled up to finish off the job. I look up, I see this big dumb construction bot peering down at me. I close my eyes, get ready to die, and instead he just lifts me up, carries me out.
Their second outing for Netflix even reunites them with MCU regulars Chris Pratt and Anthony Mackie. But star power can't salvage this overstuffed slog, which ends up coming across as content rather than a bona fide movie. The Russo brothers' bloated behemoth fails to light a spark, all while burning through a staggering $300 million budget. Epic in scale, maybe, but in every other way, it's no shock that The Electric State is better left unplugged.
You got me. You got Herm. Pretty sure we're not the only ones.
When did you stop being?
No, I didn't. I just got a haircut.
Number 8, Marmaduke. It had been a while since the heyday of animal-led comedies like Cats and Dogs, Beverly Hills Chihuahua, and 2010's Marmaduke, but not many were begging for a revival either. And if 2022's Marmaduke's horrifying animation accomplished anything, it was reminding us why this genre works better in live action.
Dog's a loser!
Even if you can look past its uncanny art style, its simplistic plot almost feels like an insult, so formulaic that even young viewers know what's coming. Marmaduke is happier settling for crude gags and potty humor. Its only notable achievement? Pete Davidson somehow bagging a Razzie Award nomination for Worst Actor for a voice role. Number 7, 365 Days.
You have 365 days. I'll do anything so you can fall in love with me. If next year on your birthday nothing changes, I'll set you free.
Anyone who's seen posters and trailers for this erotic thriller knows exactly what they've signed up for. So, can you blame the filmmakers for putting zero effort into it? Still, if there were ever such a thing as negative effort, then this would be it. Taking a page from the 50 Shades of Grey playbook, the film is basically an excuse to flash skin in all kinds of ways. But while 50 Shades at least knows where to toe the line, 365 Days was blasted for romanticizing problematic elements. Shortly after release, outraged filmmakers and feminist groups publicly condemned the film. However, the added publicity may have worked in its favor, giving us 2 more equally lambasted sequels soon after.
What's going on? Did you kill him?
It's none of your business.
You killed him.
I shot his heads.
Number 6, War of the Worlds. Just when you thought Snow White would be the worst movie of 2025, this disaster piece was delivered via Amazon Prime Air.
How could you, man? How could you? My own son is hacking the government.
You know, for someone who spends their life watching, you sure do miss a lot.
The Razzies may need to create a category for most shameless product placement just to give this film one more reward.
Wait, give him an Amazon gift card for $1,000.
20 years after Steven Spielberg's adaptation of the H.G. Wells classic put the characters at the center of the chaos, Rich Lee gives us a version that mainly takes place in front of a computer screen, with the protagonist mostly away from the alien invasion.
So what do you want to do?
We use the data centers they've connected to as bait and plan an old-school rabbit virus to infect the data they're eating.
That could work with a charismatic actor, but we're stuck with Ice Cube.
Keep your eyes on me. Focus on me.
Yeah, it was filmed during COVID, although that's no excuse. We've seen TikTok videos shot during lockdown that were more cinematic than this. Number 5, Tyler Perry's Duplicity. From the guy who won't stop making Medea movies comes a drama about police brutality and racial profiling? Uh-oh.
Hey, back to the scene, man. I drove all the way out here, man. Come on in. Come on, let's go.
To be fair, the subject matter is clearly important to Tyler Perry, who, at first, seems like he might bring some nuance to Duplicity. Between Straw and this film, though, it's clear that Perry doesn't do nuanced. Be it comedy or drama, everything he touches is over the top. Duplicity doesn't just deteriorate into a soap opera. It has a twist so ludicrous that the film winds up being more empathic toward trigger-happy white officers than the families of black shooting victims.
We're in the area with the least amount of crime.
I think you complaining, rookie. You complaining?
No, sir. It's just...
What? Say it.
That likely wasn't Perry's intent, but we have no idea what his intent was, even when the confused message is spelled out in the end.
No, you guys go ahead. I'll see you at home.
Baby.
Baby, I'll see you at home.
Number 4, Madam Web.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Eyebrows were raised and shoulders were shrugged when this project was announced, with many wondering how a movie centered on a side character from Spider-Man lore would work. Some were convinced that Sony Pictures was cooking up something special, but looks like they were just throwing stuff on the wall and hoping something would stick. As it turned out, Madam Web's ceiling was destined to be a punchline at the end of a bad joke. It wasn't long before lead star Dakota Johnson distanced herself from the film, admitting it started out as something and turned into something else. If by that she meant odd dialogue, meme-worthy moments, and over-the-top camp, and she was bang on the money.
But it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like, I mean, obviously it was bad, you know.
Number 3, Winnie-the-Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Lots of people have imaginary friends as children.
They're not imaginary, Mo.
There are times when you simply need to stop to ask a single question. Why? And for many, this film would have stirred up such bewilderment. After all, why would anyone want to see Winnie-the-Pooh and his friends reimagined as feral woodland murderers? And yet, not only did it happen, but it also grossed over $7 million at the box office. Conceived as a violent take on characters from children's media, the filmmakers wasted no time the moment the original Winnie-the-Pooh book entered the public domain. The result is as far-fetched and unhinged as you'd imagine. But with audiences turning out for Christopher Robin's reckoning against his former friends, it's no wonder the series has spun off into the aptly named Twisted Childhood universe.
You need to help me, please. There's something wrong with Bigler. He just killed my wife, please.
Number 2, music. Over the years, the Golden Globe Awards have garnered much criticism over accusations of bias, and music's nomination for Best Picture did little to quell those doubts.
Every day's a holiday. Let the beat take you away. Let the beat take you today.
Months before release, the film was widely condemned by organizations like the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network for its offensive portrayal of its titular character. Beyond the backlash, the movie was also torn apart by critics for using autism as a lazy storytelling technique. Director Sia, yeah, that Sia, was harshly criticized for inauthentic casting and failing to remove a controversial restraint scene despite promising to do so. All in all, music was largely drowned out by negative buzz, and the weak final product only proved every criticism right.
And I think that's what you do when you love someone. And I'm actually learning how to love someone.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Morbius. After making a joke out of himself in the DC universe, Jared Leto switched over to Marvel and proved he could do it all over again. Many walked out of Morbius unsure what it was about, but don't worry, even its own characters can't figure it out.
I feel a kinship with these creatures. They would tear anyone else apart, but they welcome me. Like a brother.
Featuring one of the wall crawler's most obscure villains as the lead, Morbius somehow comes across as a dollar store 90s B-movie released in 2022. Between its stilted script, hammy dialogue, and overacting, it's best enjoyed as an all-out comedy of errors. Of course, the film did provide audiences with an endless supply of memes. After all, not every movie gets to unleash its Morbin time and Morb all over theaters worldwide.
Look what you've become. Everything I am because of you. I looked up to you my whole life. I will never leave you. And I will not go back.
Is there a 2020's film you think deserves to be trashed? Sound off in the comments.